Hey there, welcome to tonight's Pick a Card reading, especially for realtors. I think that what you all do for a living is really magical. You are people who want to be at the right place at the right time 99% of the time. And that's part of what makes the best of home sales so thrilling on both ends. From your end, in terms of watching everything come together so that you have a really great experience with your buyer or seller. And then on their end, how gratifying it must be when the right deal comes together. And often I'm sure it's at the last minute. So I created this reading to kind of experiment and see if the energy of the cards could support a pick a card reading. All right, so there are 3 homes on the cover picture for this reading, and this card will be the background card for number 1, for house 1. This will be the background card for house 2, and this will be the background card for house 3. What I mean about background card is that it's what the universe is wanting to show you in overall in your part of the reading. So I'm just going to, and the gold stones on top, I'm going to reveal those at the end of your little reading, and these come from my power source over here. I have an urn of gold stones that all represent advice from the core of your deepest self. You know, what would the advice be from your connection to source as you know that in your belief system? So I'm just going to take away card 3 and card 2 here, and we're going to get started with card number 1. Okay, card number 1, house number 1. This is your animal theme for this reading. Butterfly, rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. What a great card. I'm so excited. I don't know what's been going on with you, group 1, but many times before the butterfly hatches out of the cocoon can be dark and gloomy. And even when you look at this card, it's not, like a brightly colored garden floral. It's muted tones. And so what that makes me think right away is that group 1, some of you have been going through a rebirth that was not of your choice. Certain things may have changed, and you got yourself in a situation that was harder than you thought. But the good news is the cocoon part is finished. It is that time of rebirth. But when the butterfly comes out, remember they're wet. That it takes them a while to dry their wings. So it might be that that's part of what's going on for you, is that this next transition into your life after your rebirth may be what will be your inner CEO's advice. Now, why do I call it the inner CEO? When you are at your calmest state, when you're relaxed and your body is just limp, you're going to make your best decisions. When your body is tight and you're feeling cringed, that's when you lose your connection to your deepest intuition, okay? So it would make sense right here, as far as your inner CEO would be wanting for you to be aware of that and to be really leaning into practicing intuitively so you can trust your gut. So card number 1, we have release. Love this card right here under the rebirth card. So part of what's been going on has been a real challenge for you, no doubt. But look at this field of flowers that the figure is standing. Look at the open arms. Look at the peace and the freedom that's there. So remember that your endings do lead to new beginnings, and there is great promise here for you. The time is right. There are 78 cards in the deck, okay? There's lots of different options that can come up, and so trusting that this is your message, group 1, is part of what is for your intuition. If this reading would feel off or it's not quite you, you can go on. But if something inside of you is ringing and you know the message is for you, it's a way to learn that inner yes. The second card is the Star. Now these two cards are in the major arcana so far, which means that whatever's going on with you is going on at a very deep level. The Star is all about healing. Have faith. The future is bright. Dreams come true. Positive changes bring an end to challenging times. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Beautiful. What a great promise. And then for our third card, we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so here is a card that suggests that there are sneaky people around you that are doing unwise things. And certainly in your business, it's true. People will do really stupid things to get ahead, but you have no part of that. You don't want to have any part of it. Part of your transition is to be really steady and stable and making the decisions that are for you. Even though you may be faced with a choice that's not wise, it's not going to draw you in. Remember that with the promise of the Star, you know that your healing from the past hurt feelings that you've had are going to make a difference. So let me turn over your wisdom stone here. And we have the Tower. So yes, there has been a challenge to you, but after any kind of Tower experience, and by that I mean if you had to go to Japan right now and you did not speak Japanese, that would be a Tower experience. It's definitely a fish out of water experience, but adjustment will bring forth all of what you're desiring. All right, so go forth and prosper, Group 1, and please leave a comment if this resonates. Okay, we'll move on to Group 2. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. And your card, let me turn this over, put this aside. Your card is the Wolf. Wolf is the Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and you help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Okay, there's something about you that is old-fashioned, that you have a deep regard for the way things are done in the past, and it's very important to you that things are done the right way. You are a teacher. People look up to you. You may not like that. You may wish they would go find themselves another mentor because it's not what you want to do, but you can't hide from your destiny, okay? So let's draw 3 cards here and see what else Source is wanting to give you. Now, why do I say an inner CEO? You have a part of you that is very good at intuiting. Your gut is very strong. Finding that zone and being able to get there whenever you want will really facilitate you finding that path forward. All right? So let's see here. The inner CEO is the place in you where you are calm, relaxed, and at ease, both mentally and physically. That's when you know you can connect with your highest and best chance to make a good intuitive decision. So card number 1, we have, okay, so this is an important card because you have really given a lot. You are a person that gives until your giver wears out, right? And so you can do that easily because you know how to manifest and you know how to get the clients, you know how to sign the papers. But right now, there's something that needs for you to pause and to figure out what it is that you really want next. You don't want to be scattered at this time. It's time for you to be the receiver, okay? So let's go to card 2 here. Okay, all right, this figure, now when you look at these two together, you can see that there's this discouragement, right? She would never show it. She would never show that she's really fatigued. She'll give and give and give, and her life is such that she is enabled to do that. But when we look at the 5 of Cups, there's something here that's missing. even though everything is there, some cups are spilled, but there's 2 cups right behind. This is a person that is ending up focusing on the negative, all right? So if there's something in what you're doing right now, in your processes, in your systems, there may be a problem that you know has been there. You're seeing it, but you just haven't taken the time to straighten it out. So this, to me, you've got help coming from both sides. Don't do too much on your own. Make sure that you're delegating properly and that you're asking for the guidance that you need. Remember, nobody knows everything all the time. And then last, we have the beautiful, the Queen of, what is she here? Queen of Wands. All right, Queen of Wands, I'm sorry for the glare. The Queen of Wands, it says it all. Now again, this could be male or female. This is not gender specific. These are just energies. But this has the energy. This is like what can happen when you come into balance, brilliance, talented, independent. There is some control that's going on with the Queen, but she's Queen, all right? The Queen is the one that is taking care of the character here. So there's nothing that you can't do. You believing in yourself, read this, believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true. The need for balance between career and personal life. There's your answer, okay? Your inner CEO says take care of you. Now let's turn over your wisdom stone, and we have Judgment. The Judgment card is you are so hard on yourself. Only you know that, right? So taking away the self-judgment and just do some delegating, figure out what you really want. You're definitely on the success path. Okay, let's go on to our third card. And group 3, welcome to the reading. Your animal card. Oh, I love this card. Isn't this gorgeous? So group 3, you have Black Jaguar, Old Soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. Okay, group 2, look how dark this is. I love it. Look how the light of the golden eyes shines out from the cat. Look at how the brightness of the light is behind the dark circles like an eclipse. Many people are fearful of the darker side of our personality. It feels like sometimes we can be too sharp or we can be too critical, and people kind of wince when we're around. Well, if that energy is not given a way out, it causes those kind of hiccups of bad behavior where you know what I mean. You walk away and think, shoot, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. You are an old soul. You know everything's going to be okay. But I would definitely take a peek into the shadow side of your personality and just own it, and don't be afraid to apologize if you accidentally pinch somebody's head off, not that I know anything about that personally. But let's take a look at the cards and see what the cards have to say to support this message from your inner CEO. Now, why do I say inner CEO? I call it that because when you are at a calm, relaxed state, and your body and your mind are at peace and ease, you will feel most in touch with your intuition. You're just going to make your best choices when that's the case. If your shadowy side, the parts of your personality that you're not proud of, if those are out of whack, which happens under stress, then your decision making is weakened because your intuition is not as accessible, okay? And so let's draw our 3 cards to see what other advice can come out here. Okay, card number 1, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. So this card has a lot to do with teamwork. This is very important to be part of something, and of course, when you're in the kind of work that you're in, you're always working with a team of people. And so it's important to remember that you do what you love, all right? And being in your profession, you want to make sure you specialize in what it is you're good at. if you feel like parts of your work you don't enjoy and it's stacking up against you, you're just tight all the time and annoyed at things, you might be able to delegate in a creative way. All right, so let's see what happens with our next card here. All right, again, too much going on. Part of the message of this card, Eight of Wands, is that there's too much going on. And there is a lot of stress, but guess what? It's caused by a lot of positive opportunities. Unexpected things, being in the right place at the right time, being able to turn on a dime, to be able to multitask and be able to answer those objections and concerns. You've got to be on your toes. So if that's the very best thing that you do, you've got to delegate some of the tasks that you just don't want to do right now. So you may have to be creative about it, but you're going to be able to tell, because normally the things that you love to do, if those feel like they've lost their sparkle a little bit, there's a piece of advice I can give you on that. But let's look at our third card first, see what the universe has to say about it. Okay, great. It's exactly what I was going to talk about. Eight of Swords. You know what? There's an illusion of being trapped with this card. And a lot of times, I was thinking about this today, that when you lose a deal, when something goes bad, and it's very disappointing, and you might have to go out that very afternoon, put on a brave face, and handle a different client, okay? So remember that ultimately this is a big game. It really is. And you have to be able to play the game. You have to be able to be confident even when you don't feel like it. So I was thinking that if you handle a broken client relationship like you would a breakup, really, because it is that disappointment when there's two people that end something in a painful way. And so I would just take a minute and write down a list of any clients that you've had in the last year where there's just been a bit of heartbreak or disappointment. Write that down and then make a choice to let it go. Let it go. Look at how she's peeking out from her blindfold. There's no point to holding on to hurt feelings. It'll only hold you back, okay? So let's just see what your wisdom stone has to say. Temperance. Okay, temperance is all about, I always think temper, I put that over there because temperance is balance and fairness, okay? And it's very important to stand up for what's right. Look at how this shines against the cat. But the idea is that you can't be right all the time. If you have a trusted friend or advisor, go to them. Without gossiping, just ask, if there's any advice people who know you can give you to let this go and move on. You have a bright future ahead of you. You have to believe that. But letting go of disappointment with clients in the past will really help you connect internally to your deepest intuition. So there you go, group 3. Go forth and prosper. Have a wonderful week, month, and start the spring with a real belief in yourself and what's possible.